everyone, I am out here at Whitewater Country Park, or Whitewater River Park, excuse me. It's very chilly, February 26, 2022. Just going to try out this new camera, and I've done some basic setups on it, so who knows, I don't know what's going to go on. I'm using the auto focus capability here and tried to use this as a vlogging camera. This is what the intention was, but I'm going to be turning it back and forward. You don't want to look at this ugly mug for too long, I'm sure. So here we are. Let's turn it around. White River Park. It's actually a beautiful park. It's in the town of Lyons, just outside of Lyons, and very nice place. You can hike here, you can get on the river and kayak, and there's a bunch of activities you can do. There's a nice barn here, so I'll try and get into a better position to show you. Like I said, I'm just really doing a rough setup here. I don't know exactly how this is going to be looking, and it is really windy, so you're probably hearing some of that in the mic. I'm using a lavalier into the audio jack here, so stepping back. I am fully zoomed out, so I'm manually having to, but you know, it's a vlogging camera, so it was intended for short zoom ranges, talking to camera, etc. So I'm no techie, so you're probably going to hear some terms and you go, what the hell is he talking about? Well, that's one of them. So here we go. We're going to walk down to the trail. It is cold and windy, so I don't know how long I'll stay out here, but I think it's going to be a nice little walk. And there's one other car here, so I think I've got the whole place to myself almost. So here we go. There's a nice shot of the bathrooms. Going to walk down the snow here. Ooh, I'm sure you can hear the wind. It's probably rustling that mic up pretty good. And I'm going to be falling on my backside if I don't get onto some grass here. So anyway, yeah, camera is a Canon G7X Mk3. Now the reason I went with the Mark III is because it's the latest version of that particular type of camera, but also because it has this mic input, which the Mark II does not have. It has an onboard mic and not a mic input, which for vlogging I really wanted, because I wanted to up my audio quality. But of course, if you had the Mark II, you could use a sound recorder and edit it separately in post. But there's that nice barn again. It's a nice photo opportunity when you come down here in the summer, when it's all in full bloom, spring especially, and then fall. Wow, fall's amazing. I've got some pictures out here from the fall. So I'm not sure if I'm going to do too much in the way of still photography today, mainly because I don't really want to stand still and take it, because it's just so cold. And my hand is holding this, and I left my gloves in the car like a plonker. But we're going to walk down. There's some trees down there. I'm going to flip this around to vlogging mode here. So here we are, yeah, all of it behind. There's the barn up there. Very bright sun. It actually feels nice with the sun, but it is cold. It's 23 degrees and windy, and it's all I could do to get myself out of the apartment this morning and do some video. So yeah, it's a nice place. I really like coming here. Very nice. Sniffing while I'm walking. Got some ice here, of course. This is the White River behind me, as you can see. Let's go and zoom in a little bit. My friend Dave lent me a Canon remote for this camera, which I'm actually going to buy, but I can't find which pocket I've put it in, so I'm going to zoom in. The nice thing is that you can zoom in without having to touch the camera. Now I don't know how the auto focus is behaving here. I have a fairly high f-stop for this camera, which is 8 right now, so I wanted to get a little bit more depth of field. And I have my sunglasses on and not my reading glasses, so I don't know if this is crisp or not. I'm hoping it is. Pretty beautiful out here actually, I'd say. We'll zoom in a little bit more to full. Nice slows, and that's full zoom right there. So it's probably shaking a bit because I'm a little chilly. Yeah, this remote's great. So nice one, Dave. Thanks, mate. So the purpose of this camera is mainly for video, and going to be taking it with me when I do my rides, etc. camping. Fits on a tripod nicely. I have a UFix bracket that allows me to remove the battery and SIM card, not SIM card, the SD card, excuse me, and also keep it on a handheld little handle here. So the definition of handheld is handle, so more useless information. But we're going to walk up a little bit further, try and get up into the trail a bit. So yeah, I've been wanting this camera for a while. I've been looking at the Canons, and aforementioned friend lent me a couple to try, and I had the 50, the G50, I can't remember the name of it now, and then the G7 or the G5 he has lent that to me, and I much preferred that particular camera, especially for my needs, and decided to go with the G7. It took me a little bit to pull the trigger on the whole thing, but we're coming to hopefully the end of winter in the next, I don't know, 6 weeks. Sounds a long time, but yeah, we're still in the deeps, on the depths of winter right now. I'll turn this around again. You don't want to see up my nose, do you? Look. Oh, it's great to get out and get some exercise up. It really is. And what better way to get out on a trail? Now, battery life is something that I'm curious about too with this. I have a couple of GoPros, and they go for about an hour tops. But the nice thing about GoPros is you can plug a charging brick into them and almost run them all day. You've got a good charging brick. With this camera, you have to have a power bank, but you can't charge it and video at the same time. You can only do one or the other. So it's a little different, but ooh. That's what happens when you step on ice under snow. And there goes my hat. That's great, recording video and fall on my back. That'll make people... What's that? You did too? It's really, wow, there's ice under here. That'll look funny when the kids watch it later. Have a great day. Now I'm trying to get the... That's pretty funny actually. I made myself laugh, yep. Having a Craig Ferguson moment, made myself laugh. Flat on my back. Oh boy. And the camera got a little wet. So oh boy. Yep, this is live video right here. Anyway, be professional. So we're down to the river here. It's frozen. I'm not going to try and step on that because I don't know how thick the ice is. Especially not with this camera. Oh boy. I'm actually glad I was recording that. Moving on. This is where he fell. Da, 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 da. And around there, yeah. So actually, I think it was a good job that I wasn't talking to camera when that happened, because I might have got that lens in my face. Whew, yeah, some running water down here too. It's really cold out here. But beautiful, beautiful scenery. What else you want to do on a day like this? And get out in the snow for a bit. Sitting indoors is just, it's going nowhere. Walking down here. So how's your winter been? If you guys are looking forward to riding, it won't be long now. I'm sure you are looking forward to riding if you have a motorcycle. I was looking at some places to go and camp this season, and hang on, make sure I'm zoomed out fully. Yeah, so I was looking at some places to camp this year. A lot of the KOAs are around the state, and some other places, other campsites that offer tent camping as well. Going to be signing up for another barbecue event this year to do with my son Mitch, aka Bugman Barbecue, and the water level is either high or these benches got pushed. I don't know if they got pushed into the water. We did have some rain for a while and some snow. Interesting. But the water is running, if you can see that, the water is running over the top of ice there, which actually looks pretty cool. And stabilization, that's another thing. That was the other point I was going to make before I went to my arse. Yeah, stabilization with this camera is something I'm very interested in checking out. With GoPros, it is pretty good. There's no question about that, and I've had a lot of success with the GoPro. Before I launched the channel, I was taking it out on some hiking trips and stuff like that and trying it out, and it was very good. So I have it set on here. I can't remember the name of the setting. I'll post it up when I do the editing, but I'm not sure what setting I have it on right now. There's two settings. One is a little bit more aggressive than the other. So let's go back into vlogging mode again. Again, a lot of this is really just to see how this looks when I get it home and downloaded. But there's a lot of things I'd like to do with this camera this year. Taking it along to places I visit and use it. I tried a camera, a T3i Mark III, that I got from my daughter-in-law. A nice camera in its day, and it takes great pictures, but the autofocus part on video, well, it isn't. It basically doesn't exist. So I was having trouble with it locking in lower light situations. On a trail like this, it's probably not such a big deal because I'm sure there's enough light for it to find the subject pretty quickly. So I really wanted something that I could take with me. It's small enough to put on the bike. I'm not going to have to fight with it. I can just pull the camera out, jump into some video, and be fairly confident that it's going to come out looking pretty good. Now the nice thing about it, you can't see me doing this, but I'm touching the screen, which then is putting a box around my face that's hopefully locking in the autofocus. I won't find out till I get back. It's a new camera. I've only had it, I got it a week Friday, so barely a week, and I haven't taken it out yet. So this is the first day. There's lots to read up about or watch on YouTube about the camera, all kinds of reviews, some good, some not so good, some that are older. Now that the firmware has been upgraded to, this version is 1.3, they've made some major corrections to the autofocus and some other things, which I'm not going to get into today because I said I'm not techie, and there's tons of videos about this camera out there that are way more informative than what I'm doing right here. So I don't seem to recall any of them falling over. So hey, at least you get the comedy value. But we're coming up to a pond here, a little lake. Some of the birds that are here. I don't know how well you're seeing this. I might be creating a shadow. So this lavalier mic is right. I'm sorry, I'm hitting it. It's going to go. The lavalier mic is attached right to my lapel under my chin, or one of my chins. Yeah. So hopefully the audio is pretty good and I'm keeping the wind out of it. In the summer you can come fish this little lake. I think there's small fish in here, bluegill and things like that. I don't really know much about it. I've never fished it, and see a lot of kids coming out here with their parents, and nothing better than taking your kids out fishing with you. That's the way it all begins. Boy, I'm really glad I didn't break anything when I went over. That would have been like, I can't believe it, first day out and I break the camera. So anyway, moving around. Not going to go too much further. It's actually nice out now, and I'm moving, but my hands are getting a little cold holding this. All right, there's Al. Oh, hey, let's see if I can get some of that behind me. Really nice, still, just the sound of the water, and there are some rocks like a mini rapids up ahead you can hear, but some of that's the wind in the trees as well. Perfect. So submissions for bike upgrades. I know on one of the videos I said I'm going to be looking for a Harley Davidson. Well, that's probably going to be pushed out a little bit late. Whoa, man, it is really icy under there. That's going to be pushed out a little bit later in the summer, I think, just because of some things that are happening that will allow me to do the Harley are taking a little bit longer than I wanted. It's just the process, unfortunately, when you're dealing with pensions and stuff like that. You have to follow procedures, and there's some other stuff involved, like marital situations, which is all cool. It just has to be dealt with, and the process takes time. So they're probably just going to hold off the Harley for a while. So what I thought I would do in the meantime was upgrade the shocks on the bike, because they're old. They were on the bike when I got it, and they're showing some rust. They're a progressive, and I've been told by my passenger that they're not all that comfortable at times. There are bumps, or hit bumps, and it's like a jolt through the back. So that's an indication to me it'd be a good time to replace them. I don't know if I want to replace the seat at this point, because between the shocks and the seat, we're looking about $1,000. You can't get anything decent cheap anymore, especially nowadays. But that's the way it is. If you want the stuff and you want to do the projects, you've got to pay for it. So that's the thought. Definitely shocks, but maybe a seat. We'll see. It's a comfortable ride for me. Excuse me, my lips are dry now. But I'm not sure a passenger would agree with that, from what they've said, what she said to me. So we will see. Now I'm going to turn the camera back around because we're coming over a bridge. Bridge over the White River. Older people will know that tune. And of course the film. Name that film, go on, put it in your comments below. On the other side. This is very popular with canoe riders. Canoe riders, what am I on about? Canoe owners and kayak owners that come down here in the summer. I'm not sure if you can rent kayaks at this stretch or anywhere along the stretch, but definitely a lot of people come out here kayaking. I've seen people doing that and then just pulling in on the shore and just hanging out and having a drink for a while. All perfectly fun things to do. The White River runs right through from Lake Geneva. I believe the source is actually out of Lake Geneva. And it runs down. I'm not sure if it runs into the Fox River. I'll have to recheck that, but it kind of runs in that direction. Fun little river. Get out there and play in the kayaks. So, it's been a interesting week. Work has been pretty good. All kinds of things happening. I've watching the news. It's as depressing as always, and all that business going on with Ukraine, and boy, it just seems like you get through one thing and then you go into another, but the whole human experience takes a hit. It's almost like every month, and how about you, but getting fed up with it. But you keep doing what you can do. You try and keep your chin up and be a good human to the people around you. You can't reach out and help those that are in need everywhere, but just in your own group, in your own family, in your friends, and in your community. It's nice, just be nice to people. I think we've forgotten how to do that. We've all become so addicted to social media, where you can pretend to be whatever you want to be and try and be cool and try and be big and tough, and that contributes nothing. So anyway, that's just coming from me. There are days when I don't feel much like doing that, but I have to kick myself and say, come on, we're better than this, and go on doing the best we can. So there you go, take that for what you want. The fun thing about being on YouTube and doing stuff like this is that there's so many different perspectives out on YouTube. Some of it's negative, some of it is aggressive, especially when it comes to motorcycle stuff. You know, people show crashes and bad behavior from drivers and all that kind of stuff. You know, to me that's like watching, it's like watching bad news. I'd rather not. So, you know, if you do that kind of content, more power to you. Great, I hope you've got followers that enjoy that. That's fine. But it doesn't do anything for me, because when I go out there now looking for things, I want to find a positive experience. There's enough bloody misery and bad news in the world. I like people and like things that make me laugh, that keep me interested, that make me go, yeah, good for you. That was a positive experience. So I try and do that as best as I can. It could be a little boring, I know, but I'm not looking for drama. I'm not looking to get hits by showing stuff that, you know, is like the National Enquirer or that kind of stuff. You know, we're not putting B-17s on the moon here and all that kind of stuff. It's unnecessary. If you want that sort of stuff, it's out there. Go get it and enjoy, have fun. But when I wake up in the morning, it's bad enough that you've got to go up and go to work, let alone have to deal with all the drama on top of all of that, and then go looking for it as well. So again, take that for what it is. This is just a nice, light-hearted, I wouldn't say necessarily family-friendly channel, but I like to think that my grandkids can watch it and enjoy seeing their grandpa fall on his backside. So we're walking back towards the parking area now, and I have to say, even though it's cold out here, I'm glad I got out. I'm glad I'm not sitting at home with the heat drying me out and paying heating bills that have gone through the roof. The cost of living in general is horrendous right now compared to a couple of years ago, a few years ago. It's been worse in the past too. It's not a political statement, it's just the way of the world. But paying more for heat right now, paying more for comforts, paying more for entertainment, paying more for everything, paying more to travel, whatever it is, you pay more for it. So at least I'm not sitting at home in the apartment cranking up the heat. Imagine people that are on fixed incomes, or you know, just doing the best they can to survive, and then, you know, the world cranks up the heat on them a little bit more, no pun intended, by squeezing more money out of them. I think it's very unfortunate, and it fails to get addressed. But I don't know what the plan is. But I'm just giving you some content here to either ponder or click off. So anyway, we're coming back. Whoa, see, I nearly went again. Whew, good workout. I'm not a slow walker either. I like to put up a good pace. I used to run. I was running quite a lot, and since 2010 I did 9 half marathons, I think, 8 or 9, and thoroughly enjoyed them. But I think it was 2 years ago in Wisconsin, we had a heavy snow and ice storm around Halloween. And I was out running the day after, which was a Saturday, and I stepped off the curb, and what I thought I was stepping into snow was actually just like back there. My legs went out from underneath me. I did a Bambi kind of a thing and slammed down on the ground, and I think I used all of the swear words that were available to me at that moment. It didn't help. So the result of that was that I twisted my knee quite badly and have not fully recovered. So I can run a couple of miles, then my knee starts to go tight. But that was one thing that really kept me in great shape. And I'm managing to maintain my good health, but I miss the adrenaline of running an event. So I'm hoping in 2022 I can get back into that again, work the knee a bit more, doing some training runs, short training runs, see if I can extend it out, maybe some braces. I do have knee braces, of course. You know, I tried to address that immediately when I was able to actually run again. I'd had plantar fasciitis a few years ago, which was brutal. That's miserable. If you've ever had that, you'll know. I did it while training running. I've been doing a lot of running. I was preparing for a full marathon, and my foot just seized up on me, and it was a miserable walk home because I don't carry a cell phone with me. I find things moving around as a distraction. So anyway, coming up the hill here, try and get that barn behind me. So yeah, I'd like to get back into running. I've walked up that hill, which really isn't much, but it's enough to make you breathe a little heavy. So that's an indicator to me that I maybe should get back into some physical activity. Anyway, I appreciate you watching this. I hope it's not bored you to death. Go back and watch me falling over if you really want to laugh, and I will see you very soon. Enjoy the weekend, and spring's not that far away.